everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, folks, we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, busy time of the season for our spring high school athletes. All kind of championships being played for, being decided, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later in our first segment of the show. We've got an outstanding softball coach with some of our players coming. We look forward to visiting with them, but we're going to let you know exactly some of the teams that have already won championships, some that are in a great position to maybe win another championship. We just don't know how it's going to work out for them. As always, we like to tell you folks, don't forget to frequent our sponsors. Without the fine folks that help keep us on, we just wouldn't be here. But once again, we've got a busy show. We're going to give you a lot of information. We've got some great young athletes we're going to be visiting with. So don't you go away. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back where we'll talk about who all is vying for what kind of championships right now in high school athletics. So we'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. We're at Huffman Electrical Contractors. A satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. In the first segment of the show, as we talked about in the opening, I'm going to be talking with you about some teams that have already won spring championships. And then I'm also going to be talking about some teams, both boys and girls, that are going to be vying for championships, and they're getting over halfway in that process. And we've still got quite a few teams here in the Birmingham-Jefferson County area that are representing this part of the country, the north central part of the state. First of all, championships already won in 2018. Girls tennis, Mountain Brook, once again, Susan Farlow has another championship. I think it's number 28, and they just keep on going. They've got a great program there, awfully good coach, a lot of great athletes. As a result, it's another championship. Now, talking about track championships, we've already had a couple won. The Hoover boys and girls have won the championships again. They have one of the most successful track programs here in the Birmingham area, and I guarantee you their coach is one of the best in the business and winning championship after championship. Another team in Class 6A, the Homewood Patriots, won a boys and girls state championship, and once again, that's great for the city of Birmingham and the Birmingham area. American Christian, which is just down the road in Mobile, also won a boys and girls championships, and that was in track. So once again, quite a few championships already won, and that's we talk about this all the time, folks. That's what the coaches and the players, that's why they compete. It's just as important to the coaches. They love what they do. And it's even more important than the kids because they want to be champions like everybody else. That's why they play their certain sport. I want to tell you about some teams still in the playoffs, and they're deep into the playoffs. We'll start with baseball first. In Class 7A, the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies will be going to Bob Jones on Friday afternoon in their first doubleheader of their 2 out of 3 series. If it should take 3 games to decide who will move on to the championship round. But Hewitt in Class 7A, the only team here in the Birmingham area that's still in the playoffs. So congratulations to the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies as they prepare to take on Bob Jones this Friday afternoon up in Huntsville. In Class 6A, Helena will be hosting Hillcrest, and that's in baseball. And so Helena and Coach Jai out there, they have a great program. And in 5A, and we've had their coach up here, Shane, at Mortimer Jordan, they've traveled to Russellville, and so they've got a good chance to get into the championship round. So once again, a lot of teams in the baseball still doing well. Now, here's where we really see some people, and that is in softball. Oak Mountain in Class 7A will be playing Tuscaloosa County this weekend. Thompson will be going to Spain Park. Minor will be at John Carroll. Pinson Valley and Homewood are playing. Shades Valley and Gardendale are playing. This is all softball. And Hueytown is playing Jasper. Now in Class 5A, Mortimer Jordan is playing Pleasant Grove. Lincoln is playing Hayden, and Winona is playing Springville. And the reason we mention these folks, you may have some kids that play at some of these schools. You may be a friend or a relative not aware of it. All of these kids still in the baseball and softball end of it have a chance to win state championships. And so it's a great time of the year. The kids are out there. This is why they play. This is why they practice, is to get that opportunity to maybe try to win a state championship. And so there's some other sports that are still active, and I know in soccer that the Lady Gardendale Rockets, they're still in the playoffs, and they'll be playing this weekend. And it's just a busy time of the year. Well, like we talk about a lot, the sports in the spring, there are more participating sports than any other time during the school year. And those kids get out and practice, they go to play, and the reason they do that is to have that opportunity to win those championships. And as you can tell, the Birmingham area is very well represented. We have outstanding sports in all classifications here in the Birmingham area, outstanding coaches who've had many successful seasons, and a lot of championships belong to some of these teams here in the Birmingham area where we have all these fine coaches. So once again, we've got an outstanding softball coach here tonight, and we look forward to visiting with her and visiting with some of their athletes. They're still deep in the tournament. And so we look forward to talking with them. But like we talked about a while ago, tried to make you aware of where a lot of these teams are playing this weekend. If you get a chance and you've got relatives or your grandparents and weren't sure of where your kids were playing, well, they're playing all over. And if you get a chance, get out and see them, because like I said, that's why they're there. That's why they've competed all season long, for that opportunity to win a championship. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be visiting with our first guest of the evening. So don't you go away. We'll be right back. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrews Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, postoperative decisions, preoperative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Hey folks, welcome back, and as you can tell, I've got my first guest of the evening sitting beside me. Happens to be some coach that coaches at a school that I know a little bit about, and of course, we're talking about Coach Burt of the Hewitt-Trussville Huskies. And Coach, awfully good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's good to meet you.
As we start this interview a little bit, what I like to do, Coach, for people that might be seeing you for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself and what has led you to be the head softball coach there.
This is my first year at Hewitt-Trussville. I played ball at Auburn University Montgomery, graduated there, and began coaching at Fort Payne 7 years ago.
Really?
So this is my 7th year coaching. Was there 4 years, and then 2 years at North Jackson High School, and then got a call this summer, and now I'm here.
Well, I tell you what, you've been here a little while. What do you think of the area and the school in particular?
I love it so far. It's definitely different from where I grew up, and where I've been the last couple of years. It's been a very rural area, so there's a little bit more to do, a lot more to do, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Well, good. Now, when you come into a new job like this, usually the schedules have already been prepared.
Yes, sir.
And so when you go to make your schedule next year, what is your philosophy? And what I mean by that, and I ask coaches this all the time, do you put teams on there that you feel like you can beat? Do you put tougher competition on there to sort of gauge where you are? And of course, most of the games that we're talking about are the ones that are not area games.
Yes,
Those
sir.
are the ones you can schedule and sort of have the luxury of going in almost any direction you want to. What's your philosophy on that?
Just in the past, this is the first year I have not done the schedule for the team that I'm coaching, but it's just, to me, the tougher the better, because you want to have them prepared for those the last week of April and the first few weeks of May, and you want to play teams that are going to challenge them and get them prepared for those important weeks. Those first 6 or 7 weeks, they're weeks that you're trying to get better.
Right.
You're trying to build your stamina, build your, kind of learn your identity of your team, and the best way to do that is, to really challenge them and try to find the best competition that they can play.
I was going to say, it sounds like that you may feel like the same way I do about this, that there's such a thing as a positive loss.
Absolutely,
In other
absolutely.
words, when you play competition that you feel like is on your level or maybe a little bit better. You get to find out and
Yes,
sort of
sir.
gauge exactly,
sir.
exactly where you are. As you, what is your record right now as you go into that?
Our record is 44-8 right now. We've had a really good year, and so I told them, I was like, this is the best record I've had as a coach. But I've been last year I was at a 4A, and we played some really good ball teams. And just if you go back and look at my record as a coach, you probably wouldn't think that we were very good, but we tried to to stack it and play some good
and the
ball
one
teams.
thing about it, and I've talked with coaches, softball coaches in particular, is the number of games that the girls play nowadays. Because
Yes, sir.
I was an athlete way back when, and when we scheduled baseball or softball games for the high school where I went, you never played 20 in a season.
Yes, sir.
And now you're doubling that a lot of times, if not more. On one hand, is that a positive or a negative? Are you the kind of coach that you enjoy playing as much as you can?
It depends. I think this is the first year that I have ever seen it kind of take a toll on our girls, and it's not a bad thing. It's we were fortunate enough to go pretty deep in a few tournaments
Right.
and play 8-10 ball games in one weekend. And when you do that, and you still have all 7 tournaments scheduled, because we're allowed 18 regular season and then 7 tournaments, and you're playing 8-10 ball games, you're looking at 65 ball games.
Yeah,
And so
wow.
it's good as far as experience goes. You want to play as much as you can, but then again, you also have to kind of look out for just health-wise, making sure we're not wearing them down, and making sure they're staying healthy too.
Well, now 44-8, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, that don't sound like in a lot of team seasons you have peaks and valleys. Well, it doesn't sound like y'all have had many valleys to dig your way out of.
We have not. We have not. We had we won a Hoover tournament a few weeks ago, and then kind of had a rough week following that, where we lost 2 straight for the first time all year long. But if that's as tough as it gets, I will definitely consider that successful, because that's,
Well, and another factor that is very important in the kind of season you have is the health issue. You've been fortunate, healthy players, healthy pitchers in particular.
pitchers have stayed healthy. We've taken some bumps and bruises. We've had a few get beat up pretty good, but for the most part, we've been able to kind of fight through it, and been fortunate enough that it's not been anything too that's just put them out
that
completely.
bad.
Put them out completely.
Well, tell me about this team, and we'll talk about the 3 areas now: your hitting, your defense, and your pitching.
Yes, sir.
Because I imagine when it comes to softball and baseball in particular, I like to sort of gauge them together. If you've got a pitching staff, they can keep you in a lot of ball games.
Yes,
and if
sir.
you can keep games close, you always got a chance to win. Talk about those 3 aspects and where your teams fit in each one.
Well, pitching, a lot of times in softball, you kind of run into where a lot of teams have that one dominant pitcher. They have that one kid that just, that's their number one, that's their ace, that's their go-to, because we don't have pitching limitations in softball. They can
Right.
throw as much as they want,
Right.
or as much, as they can handle. But for us this year, we've really worked as a staff. We have 3 pitchers, Molly Cobb, Hayden Nugent, and KK Hughes, and they've all 3 seen significant time. Molly and Hayden seeing the most, to where I think they've almost seen the exact same amount of innings. So,
Really?
both with different dynamics, and all 3. One, KK being a lefty, that throws an extra thing in there too. But they've done a great job, a really, really great job of just really kind of buying in and going in and doing their job and giving us the best chance to win.
So it sounds like this has been a pleasant surprise this
Yes, sir.
season for you, especially because it's an adjustment too. We talk about adjustment for players all the time. It's an adjustment for a coach.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't know what you got really till you get there and get a chance to see them play. And you've
not.
made more than 1 or 2 moves in your career. So talk about that just a second. There are adjustments for coaches.
Yes, sir. I think our biggest adjustment has just been on the mental side of it. Physically, ability-wise, they have every aspect that it takes to be successful. We've kind of had to work a little more on the mental side of it, just, trying to get them to believe it too. It's something that you see on a daily basis, especially after we started playing a little bit. I know one of the girls, after our spring break tournament, we had a really good week, and a really, really good week. And he said, "Hey, coach, like I think we might be pretty good." And I was like, "Hey, I think I think we are," you know. And it's just that's been the main thing, and just getting them to kind of believe in themselves and really go after it.
Well, I think another thing too that is very important is I believe that most coaches have the mindset that they want their team peaking at playoff time, but what we really mean is we want them peaking a week or two before the playoffs,
Yes,
because
sir.
you can't turn it on and off like
Yes,
a
sir.
light switch.
Yes,
So
sir.
having said that, where is your team in that situation? You're in the playoffs, you play them well because you've done
Yes, sir.
won a doubleheader or two.
Area tournament, yes, sir, we did that.
To get you to where you are now. Well, what would you say about your team and where they're at? From that
I
standpoint?
think, you know, we played the best that we have played all year long the last tournament of our season, and went and beat some, I think we ended up beating like 6 ranked teams that weekend, and winning the Hoover tournament that had, I think it was 28 teams in it, something like that. And then, you know, we had a couple games where I think we were a little tired, had a little bit of a, for lack of a better term, I guess, hangover from the weekend before, and then came in the area tournament and really played well and took care of business and did our job there too.
I guess, and I could be wrong about this, when you play a lot of games is when you're involved in tournaments on
Yes,
the
sir.
weekends, and of course, the number of games you play depend, before it's over with, on you keep winning.
Yes,
or
sir.
you're
That's it.
knocked
That's
out.
it. Most of them start on Friday with like pool play, and you'll play a couple pool play games, and then you go to single elimination on Saturday. So however many games, you could play 3 games in a weekend, and you could play 10 games in a weekend.
So I guess right now, do you have to have the feeling that your team is playing about as well as they can play?
Yes, sir. We won our area championship game 20-1, and probably, you know, hit the ball top to bottom the best that we've hit it so far. Just there wasn't anything that could really throw us that we didn't put the bat on the ball.
Well, it sounds like you're in a great shape as you hope to advance
Yes,
even
sir.
further into that tournament.
Yes, sir.
And first of all, awfully nice to meet you.
It's
and
very
I hope
nice
you've
to meet
got
you.
many years of coaching out there at Hewitt-Trussville. It's a great place to live, a great place to work.
Yes, sir.
And that high school is one of the better ones in the state right now. And so good luck to you and your girls, and we're hoping that they're peaking at the right time.
Thank you.
'cause
Us too. Us too.
you've
We
had
have a big weekend coming
you've
up, so we're
had a
excited.
great season. Wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we're going to start visiting with some of the players of the Lady Huskies softball team. We'll be right back.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
Folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got 2 outstanding, beautiful young ladies sitting next to me. They're softball players, and by the record that the coach and I have talked about, they're pretty good. They're part of an outstanding unit. Sitting closest to me, Tate Mosley, a senior center fielder.
Yes, sir.
Right. And then Abby Inman, middle infielder, primarily second base. Right. Okay. All right. First, girls, the question that I would ask you that makes the most sense to me is, first of all, and we'll start with you, Tate, how many years you've been playing softball?
Oh, I started when I was 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
wow.
18.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Do you participate in any other sports?
I did indoor track last year, and then I played basketball in middle school, but that's it. I've just always loved softball.
Love softball. Now, here's the deal. You've been in the program how many years?
6. This will be my 6th year.
Really? Okay. Now, I talked with the coach about this because coaches have to adapt to their athletes. Athletes have to adapt to new coaches. What's that transition been like for you?
I think it's been awesome with Coach Taylor. She has completely worked our butts off, and I mean, the whole 5 years before this, I've been dying to have somebody like that, and I mean, it just actually means something this year, and I've loved it. It's for sure our best year I've ever had.
Okay. Well, now, Abigail, and being a senior as well, is softball the only sport you participate in?
I played a little basketball in middle school, but softball has been the main.
Okay, well, I was going to say you got the size that would have made a little basketball player, too. A middle infielder, second base primarily. Your strong suit, hitting or fielding?
I would probably say fielding.
Really? Okay. So we always work on our hitting a little bit and depend on our fielding to keep us out there every once in a while, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, has it surprised you? 44 wins and 8 losses. That's a pretty impressive record. Did you think going into this season that that's the kind of year y'all might be able to put together?
I definitely, I was 100% confident that we would get stuff done. When Coach Taylor came in, we did this program called Godspeed, and we've been doing it since August, and we've worked really hard. So once we started our first game and I saw how we were playing, I was not surprised at all that we kept
Well,
winning.
and talking about that, Coach, what kind of adjustment was it for you? Has it been pretty smooth? Or were any bumps in the road as far as that player-coach relationship?
No, not at all. I love her. When she came in, we all have chemistry, and every year we've kind of struggled with that. But this year she's brought it to us, and we're all really happy.
Well, you know, and we'll come back with you, Tate, a little bit. She mentioned a subject I like talking with athletes about, and it's chemistry. Now, team chemistry is a funny thing. If you like each other, not only do you become better individually, you become better as a team. Now, y'all are ladies, and ladies are different, psychological from us guys. And so, Abigail, I'm going to ask you this too. Team chemistry, it's a wonderful thing if it's positive, but if it's not, and we got cat fights and everybody, you know, that's not meant as a complimentary term. That's not. But if those are not there, a lot of times the team chemistry makes you not only the best you can be as an individual, but the best you can be as a team. And you're talking about that you feel like there's great chemistry on this team.
Yes, sir. On and off the field, we're all best friends and talk to each other. We eat lunch together at school. So it's been really great this year.
All right, let me ask you this question, because I think next year y'all are going to miss this, but next year Trussville's coming back into the Birmingham region, right? Mm-hmm. All right, having said that, and we'll start with you, Abigail, when you see that schedule, what's the team you look at and you look forward to playing the most as far as a competitor?
This year, Sparkman.
Sparkman, do you feel that they have a pretty good team?
Is who we would love to beat and love to. That's our team to play.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Tate, how about you? Which team would it be for you?
I would say Sparkman too.
Really? Mm-hmm. So are they a pretty good team?
They are a good team. I think we can beat anybody on the field, but it's just we just got to go out there and get business done, and I think if we can do that, we can beat anybody.
Well, I was talking with a coach. One of the big tournaments y'all played in this year was the Hoover tournament. And y'all won that tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
So that had to be impressive, 28 teams. What were some of the teams that you enjoyed competing against in that tournament?
I know. It was a long day.
Well, 28 teams, that's a lot. But
Northridge.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, out of Tuscaloosa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, now listen.
Mobile. They're out of Mobile.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, now let me ask you this. Y'all are athletes, be it female athletes, but athletes are funny. We have superstitions, things we think we got to do better or we got to do the same way or whatever if we're going to play the best we can play. Now, with that thought in mind, and Ms. Tate, we'll start with you. Is there any kind of superstition that you guide or that you have to do the same way that makes you feel like you're going to be a better softball player?
I have a lot. I eat the same breakfast every single game day. Really? And I think my earrings are good luck for some reason. I don't get to wear them in the game. They don't let you wear them, but I think that my pearls I hit better when I wear my pearls. And then, obviously I put on my uniform the same way every single time. Like, there's no changing it. I think that might be it.
Okay, now you said that. Abby, how about you?
I really don't have any. I have one that if I hit, like I start off the season and if I hit really good in a bow, like a certain type of bow, then I'll wear that bow every single game. Yeah. That's about it.
Okay.
Otherwise.
Now that's sort of interesting, but let me tell you this. I want you to know none of them superstitions really help us. Mentally, we think it does, but when you think about it, your ability is what's going to really carry you through, isn't it? But it's one of those little mental things. Sometimes we play mental games with each other. All right, now, I know that there's two things about you girls I knew before you even got here. One, you're pretty smart for the simple reason that if you don't qualify in the classroom, guess what? You don't make it that softball diamond. And this record that y'all are running up here shows me that you're pretty good on the field too. Now, having said that, you're busy in the classroom and you're busy on that softball diamond. We got to have some downtime. And we got to have some time to loosen up and just be using for a little bit. So with that thought in mind, Ms. Tate, what do you do to relax and sort of get away from the grinds of the classroom and the softball diamond?
Most of the time, my day completely stops when I actually get in the bed at night. And I mean, by that time, I'm done. I'm not doing anything else. I just usually watch Netflix or just kind of lay there.
And just to relax and maybe think about the kind of day you've had, right? Okay. How about you, Abby?
I'm kind of the same. I get home and I kind of have to put my phone up and just say I'm going to bed at this certain time and get my sleep, and I'm usually pretty good.
Okay, now hobbies. Hobbies are a little bit different things. If y'all wanted to tell me something a little bit about yourself that I didn't know that's a hobby, something you enjoy doing, other than playing the softball and all that, what would it be? And we'll start with you, Abby.
I like to take pictures. I enjoy that, so that'd be one thing.
Picture taker. That's sort of neat. Photographer. Yeah.
I like to run, jog.
You do? Yeah, well, that's good. I'm a walker myself. I walk 45, 50 miles a week. So you do
wow.
that so you stay young, trim, and beautiful. Now, we're not talking about me, folks. Now, all right, but girls, that surprises me. Those are two good things. The one thing that I expected to hear out of you, you didn't say. Shopping. Girls love to shop, don't you? You don't? You got other things that are a priority right now, right?
Right.
Okay, now, y'all are playing your best softball right now, but do you think that you've had peaked yet? And we'll start with you, Tate.
I think we have. We've obviously hit a couple bumps in the road, but every season has that. And I think we've reached our peak and we're going to keep going up.
Okay, so you're playing well. You're playing as good as you've played all year right now. And that's what you have to do once you get to this level of your tournaments and everything. So you feel the same way?
I do. I have full confidence that we can make it and do big things.
Okay. Well, the last question I got, and I like to ask athletes this, to this point in your young life, and we'll start with you, Ms. Tate, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I would have to say Coach Johns, Karen Johns. She was the head softball coach my freshman year, and she's always just kind of been a family friend. She's had a huge impact on my life, helped me through the whole recruiting process of softball, and not only softball on the field, but she's taught me how to be like a good person, a well human being, and I could never thank her enough for everything she's done for me.
Okay, great. How about you?
I'd say our assistant coach, Coach Golage. She's my AP chemistry teacher, and she's also is the consistent coach that she's always been there since we started the program, and so she's helped us with every year, getting through everything, and she knows us the best. And so
the very last question, because I meant to ask this earlier, both of you seniors, where are you going to school next year?
Auburn University.
I will pray for you. No, hey, that's a great school. You can ask an Alabama fan talking. But a great school. What do you hope to study? What do you hope to be one day?
I think I want to go into pre-vet.
Okay, pre-vet. How about you, Abby?
I'm also going to Auburn.
Oh, my Lord. This president's going to get longer. Okay. Well, that's absolutely fine. What do you hope to do one day? Maybe.
Nursing.
Nursing. Well, listen, if you're half the nurse you are a softball player, and you're half that in the chosen field you want to be, I wish you all the luck in the world. Right now, the problem at hand, we got to win another series, right?
Yes, sir.
And move on, and the goal is to win that championship. Good luck to you girls. I hope you do.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got 3 more athletes we want to talk with. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa. the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course. Miles of historic trails. And the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective. And folks, welcome back. What a way to start a segment. As you can tell, 3 more athletes, and look forward to talking with the young ladies. Closest to me, we have Caitlin McDaniel and Caitlin, senior. All these young ladies are seniors, first baseman.
Yes, sir.
Ashley Dorn, senior, second baseman, and then the catcher, senior, Jade Thomas. Okay, first thing I would ask you, and Caitlin, we'll start with you, is talk about the transition of a new coach for the athlete. How was that for you?
Well, you know, the past 4 years we've had a different coach, so they've been in and out of the program. But Coach T came in with a vision and where they wanted to take this program, and we've had a great chemistry bond with her. So I think that with us and our chemistry, that's going to take us a long way.
Has she impressed you, a coach she's going to make you work hard, but there are rewards for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ashley, how about you?
It's been a very smooth transition. We haven't had any problems at all. She's so relatable. We can talk to her about anything. It's just a great relationship that we all have with her, and that's something we haven't had before.
Okay, good. Jade, how about you?
I think it's been, really good. She has a really good, vibe that she gives all of us. She can kind of cut up and act like one of us, but then, when the time gets serious, we know to take it serious, and we can kind of look at her to respect her and stuff, and she's really easy to talk to about anything.
Well, let me ask you this, Jade. How many years you've been playing softball?
I've been playing since I was 6, so
oh
about
my
7
goodness.
years.
So you've been on the playing at Hewitt for a long time too then.
About 4 years.
Oh, okay. Are you looking forward to next year when y'all come back to the Birmingham region?
Yes, sir.
I know a lot of the parents out that way are.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I had people asking me, Snapper, why are we having to go north? And it's a numbers game and that kind of thing. But so you're looking forward to coming back down this way?
Sir.
Okay. Ashley, how about you?
I'm definitely excited. There's a lot of competition in the Birmingham area, and I think we're all excited to get back into that. I'm especially excited for our underclassmen. It's going to give them good competition to get ready for the postseason. So.
Okay. And Caitlin, one of the things that being from here in the Birmingham region, has it surprised you that some of the better teams are away from Birmingham? We've got some good ones down here, but there's quite a few teams that are getting knocked out of the tournament and from the Birmingham area.
Yes, sir. The competition really does vary going up to Huntsville and down here. But like they said, the competition-wise, I'm really excited to see what they do next year.
Well, it'll be interesting because people will be coming back to the schools that they've been used to pairing up with through the years. But when you looked at that schedule, and you've been playing, I'm sure, a long time too.
Yes, sir.
What teams, when you look at that schedule, you look forward to?
So definitely Springville, just because they're kind of close, and a lot of us have played with them, so that's also a good competition. And especially Huntsville, being area, that's always a cat fight when it goes to it. So those are definitely the teams.
How about you, Ashley?
Huntsville, definitely. They've got good competition. They challenge us each time we play them, so it's a new game every single time.
Well, that's one of those things. Those kind of challenges are the one that, win or lose, you feel like you're made a better player and maybe a better person for competing in it. Jade, how about you?
I mean, I would have to agree and say Huntsville because, last year when we got moved in that region, it was kind of like our rival was between Huntsville, and so I think that we were always excited to, go up against them. And then I'd also say Springville because they're pretty, good ball team, and they've got some pitching and they've got good bats on them, and so it's always good to kind of put yourself up against a team like that.
And they're not very far down the road either, are they? Okay. Well, I was talking to the young ladies earlier about athletes. We're a superstitious bunch. And so with that thought in mind, Jade, we'll start with you. Is there any kind of superstition that you have or things you feel like you have to do the same way or whatever?
Yes, sir. That day, like when we're warming up, when we go down the line from coming in from warm-ups, I tell everybody good luck, because I feel like if I don't, then, it's like part of my duty is that I feel like I have to tell everybody good luck. And then I always have like bracelets on my wrist and like my earrings and stuff, and I'll put them in the same part of my bag every single time.
Well, I mean, boy, that's going to be hard to keep up with, but it sounds like it's working. It's working. How about you, Ashley?
In the dugout, we have this little tradition where we move places if the team's not doing good. So if I'm sitting on the bucket and it's not working out, I'll go to the other end of the dugout and hopefully it'll change things up.
Well, I tell you what, it don't sound like y'all had to move around much this year, does it? With that thought in mind, Caitlin, has it surprised you the year that y'all have had?
Not really. I know that kind of sounds selfish and cocky, but
No,
we've all played together and we all know what we're all capable of. So when Coach T came in, and she was hard on us, of course, but I wasn't shocked after all the, I wouldn't say damage we've done, but it's definitely been a good year for us.
No, I tell you, as the old saying goes, it's not cocky if you're doing it. I mean, if you talk cocky and your record's 5-15, well, then that's upside down. Something's wrong. You better keep your mouth shut and concentrate on playing, right?
Yes, sir.
But it sounds like that you girls have had a real steady season. I mean, 8 losses and 44 wins. You haven't been down much, but as the coach and I were talking about, there's always room for improvement, and I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
you girls feel that way too. And I don't know this. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. But y'all will know. In the times that y'all have been there, we're still looking for the first championship?
Yes, sir. First
Okay, so what do you think the odds are this year, Jade? Are you playing the best softball you played all year right now?
I mean, yes, sir. I think that we've definitely come a long way since we started the season, and we've really come together as a team, and we're starting to put all aspects of the game together, and it's clicking.
Now, being a catcher, that's a very important position because of the pitcher. Y'all have to have a special relationship. But being the catcher, do you enjoy that the fact that, hey, they look up to you to do different things, watch things, because you got that field right in front of you. You might catch some things that the teammates might be missing. Do you enjoy the responsibility that comes along with being a catcher?
Yes, sir, I do. You have to really kind of stay on your toes to be able to see everything and catch anything that comes along, and so it's really good to kind of have that responsibility and have everybody, looking towards that.
Better hitter or fielder?
Fielder.
Okay, now then that's going to lead me to Miss Ashley.
Yes, sir.
Very simple, hitter or fielder?
It's a tough one. Recently I'd say hitting.
Recently? Well, that's good. If you're going to get hot, recently is the time to do it.
Yes, sir.
And so it sounds like y'all have been hot as a team pretty much all year, and we want to keep doing that. So how about you, Caitlin?
Fielding.
Fielding.
Probably my strong suit, yes,
Well,
sir.
that's okay, because defense helps win ball games as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, all of you are seniors, and so we'll start with you, Jade. Where do you hope to go to school next year?
I'm going to the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
Oh, I see success written all
Yes, sir.
over your face. And what kind of classes, what do you hope to do one day?
I'm still kind of undecided as far as like the specific major, but I'm going into engineering.
Okay, now undecided is a very popular subject. A lot of people really don't know. We find out when we get to school. Let me ask you this. Have you ever thought, because most coaches haven't thought about this, have you ever thought about softball coaching one day? You played a lot of it.
Yes, sir. I mean, I've kind of thought about maybe, after I grow up and have a family, maybe coaching one of my kids, kind of like on the side as maybe a hobby, but nothing big.
Oh, okay, okay. Ashley, what about you? Where are you going?
I'm going to go to Troy, pursuing a biomedical sciences degree, hoping to become a doctor one day.
Doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. And you choose the doctor, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now doctors, I don't know if they'd ever want to coach any softball on the side or not, but do you ever see that in your field maybe down the road? Or the doctor's a very serious field, and I hope that, that works out for you.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really see it in my future, but I mean, I love the sport and I would love to stay involved, but I don't really see it.
Let me tell you this, and the reason I say that, and I'm talking about the guys and the girls as well, and especially the coaches. Not many coaches started out to be coaches. I mean, they thought they was going to be this, that, and the t'other, and some of them ended up being some of the best coaches in the world. But they didn't start out that way, so you just never know. Caitlin, what about you? Where are you headed?
UAB.
UAB and?
Get my doctor's in physical therapy.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, now, one thing that I wonder about is y'all study hard in the classroom or you wouldn't be playing.
Yes, sir.
And you're good or you wouldn't be playing much softball. So that takes a lot of your time. But what do you do to relax and unwind and get away from the rigors of the classroom and the softball diamond? Start with you.
I usually just go home and watch some TV. I mean, there's nothing special to it. There's usually some shows that like me and my dad or my mom, we watch that's like kind of our thing that we watch when we get home. So we watch that and then we just go to bed afterwards.
Okay. How about you, Ashley?
I love to read a book.
Really?
Sounds really nerdy, but
No, I mean, you can learn a lot of knowledge from reading. And I'll let you know what I learned first time I read. I haven't done much of that. That's great. That's how you learn about things, too. Plus, like you said, it takes your mind off those other rigors, doesn't it?
sir.
Okay, Jade, how about you?
I usually go home and hang out with my family and listen to music or maybe go see some friends. You know, just get some laughs in and have a good time.
Well, let me ask you this, and we'll start with you, Caitlin. Has your team played its best softball yet?
We've played really well, but I don't think it's been our best. You know, we have games, we have really good hitting, and then we have really good defense, and we're starting to start putting those together. So I don't think we played our absolute best, but I think we'll be getting there pretty soon.
Well, I think that's what each team wants to do, especially as you get to the playoffs. And have you noticed that the intensity, and Ashley, has probably picked up now that playoffs, every game are a lot more important than they are during the season?
I mean, the intensity is definitely increased, but I think that we're very confident in our team that, we just know that if we go out there and we play the way that we know we can play and, just take care of business,
Right.
There's not much to worry about.
So, Jade, you look like that this could be the year?
Yes, sir. I think that we have all the potential in the world to do it. You know, we've worked our tails off all season, to get to the point we're at, and we're so close, and we have everything that we can to do it. We just got to get out there and make it happen.
Okay, last question, and I wish you all the luck in the world, and I wish you all the success in the world once you leave Hewitt and get into your college career. But to this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons? And we'll start with you, Jade.
I would say my dad, because, he's had some struggles in his life, but he's really worked hard to put them behind him and, to become, even stronger than he was before that. And he's just a huge role model to me.
Good, great. How about you, Ashley?
Both of my parents are a huge inspiration to me. We've been through thick and thin together, and they've always stuck by my side and shown me who I need to be as a person, and no matter what's going on in their life, they're always, trying their best to give me everything that they can, which speaks volumes. So.
Okay, good for you, Caitlin.
Mine would probably have to be my mama. She is my best friend in the world, without a doubt. So, usually you have the family where the dad yells and the mom's laid back. Mine's the complete opposite. My mom's always going at me for something, but I think without her, I would not be the person I am today, and I owe her a lot for that.
And our moms, or whether it's moms or dad, they're doing that to try to help you and not to hurt you. Well, girls, listen, awfully nice to meet you.
Nice
what
to
a
meet
great
you.
season you've had so far.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
hope it's nowhere near over, okay?
Yes, sir.
'Cause we would like that blue trophy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to y'all. And folks, we've had an outstanding evening, outstanding coach, outstanding athletes. We'll do it again next week. To then, you know what the snapper always says. Bye.